Hello everyone, my name is Nicholas. I'm the part-time thrifter. I buy and sell on Amazon and eBay for profit. And in today's video, we're going to go look through some of the questions that I get on Instagram and on Discord pretty much from different people all the time. Now, I think the biggest one when it comes to actually selling on Amazon or seeing someone selling on Amazon on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is how do you actually scale? And that's one of the biggest questions that happens. And for me, it was really trying to cut down the cost when creating the business, when having the business. So I was cutting down the cost. So I was doing everything myself for a long time, making sure that I had the correct tools needed in order to be able to scale correctly. So say, for example, yes, a reprice, it does cost quite a lot of money, but what does that mean? You've got a better sell-through rate. So therefore you can actually use your money over and over again. So I think that was actually quite important when starting out. So I get a question, first of all, is how do I get traffic to the store? I've got Shopify, Etsy, eBay, and Amazon. So Amazon, you can really, if you're selling other products, so say, for example, if I'm selling a Star Wars helmet, you don't need to do anything. That will actually sell itself. It just is by rank. If you've got your own product, then you've got to actually pay for advertising. For eBay, what I do, I actually pretty much advertise all my listings to 2%. If it's a global shipping program item, which I think you could actually go abroad, I'll do a 5%. Etsy, I've never actually really doubled on Etsy. Again, you can pay for advertising. Shopify, you've got to actually look at SEO and advertising for that too. I tried it with Preston Toys and it was quite a disappointment for me. But I think in order to be honest, I didn't try it really. I put it on, I paid it for the year, and I'm thinking, yeah, I'll do it, and then it just never happened. I never pushed it really. I didn't push it at all. So therefore, that's where that failed, that project. Have you got any recommendations for auction sites for beginners? When I started, I was using Easy Live Auctions simply because you could actually place a bid even if you're not in person there. How do I test for product is good. You've got to look at the data. How much to start with as a beginner is, sorry guys, I'm not just randomly talking to myself, I've just got some questions that I've actually picked up from people. I started with £500 3.5 years ago, and now we're quite comfortable. I can pay myself and so on. But I think what was lucky about myself, well, not lucky, I was patient enough that I did start with £500, and that £500 stayed in the business over and over and over again. I didn't take anything out of the business because I had other wage from a different employment. Any other advice? How to get the edge of the competition? I don't know, you've got to want it, really. That's the big thing. You've got to actually make the decisions. Like, if you keep putting yourself off from doing it, making excuses, I think the big one is just jumping in and doing it. So you just focus on RA and let the buy box come around if you're happy with it. Do you ever wait out the Amazon get sold out? So again, another question is people asking me is, would you jump on a listing that Amazon are on it? Now, the only time I would jump on a listing if Amazon is in it is I would check the keeper chat. And if the keeper chat allows for Amazon going out of stock, then of course I would make the purchase. Not to also, one big thing that I actually do is I actually go wide rather than deep. So I buy 5-6 units max pretty much every time. Every time that I've bought crazy and I've gone for the 10s or the 20s, I've always been stung. Somebody else has found a product and then they undercut me. And eventually I've got to sell out after 90 days, unfortunately, without having the same profit. I was looking at advice for the land arbitrage. So when it comes to land arbitrage, if obviously I've got my level 99 service for anyone who's new to Amazon, and you can access it now with a link below. And what you get about 20 different deals. And even if you want to access it and find out all the different stores that we use for land arbitrage, you can do that. It's a month-to-month basis. But even if you don't want to do that, and if you want to do it manually, just look at what you're stocking, look at what's selling. So say, for example, is you're selling Lego, you're selling Squishmallows, you're selling Nerf guns, okay? Go on your websites and look at the keywords when actually sourcing and find out. I often, when I used to do it like quite a lot, for us, because obviously I'm switching a bit on private label more, so I'm not spending as much time sourcing, is I used to have the website, put my keyword, and then I used to use my phone and just scan the images, because that was a lot faster sometimes than even the extensions. the Chrome extension, so buy bot pro and seller amp. So yeah, that's the way I did it. And then I just make the decision, look at online arbitrage, always think about it like someone else can find it too. So really important to read the graphs and make an informed decision. I'm now at 500 quid and I want to help progress to get further again. Is if you're at 500 pounds, I think that's one big thing really. You shouldn't be buying stuff with a rank of 130,000. Okay, now what does that mean? It means if you make a purchase with Amazon, by the time you send it in, by the time you send it in, you've got a week before it checks in and everything, so that's a week gone already. Your money's been used for a week, and maybe a week, 3 weeks to sell if it's 120k, so that's 4 weeks. You cannot use that 50, 60, 70 quid. So you should be looking for lower ranking items if you're just starting out. Fast sellers, just to make your money go around, because obviously the problem is with Amazon is they hodl their money for 2 weeks pretty much for the majority of people, because in case they need to actually pay for any returns. So that's something to keep in mind, the difference between eBay and Amazon. eBay, you get the money next day now into your bank account. It's not even PayPal, into your bank account. Instead, with Amazon, you get like a 2-week buffer before you see your items. So just to keep that in mind when you're making your decisions. Just looking at other questions that I usually get. So that's all the questions that I've got from Instagram, really, from people. The main one is like, I get cold DMs from people, hey bro, literally that's what I get the majority of the time. Hey bro, how do I start on Amazon? And if you're in a mentality of someone actually holding your hand all the way through this, you've already failed, I would say. Do a bit of groundwork. Okay, how do you start with Amazon? Well, are you over 18? Yes. Can you start an Amazon account? Yes. How are you going to do this? Keep in mind that Amazon shouldn't be like a side hustle for yourselves. It is a business, so therefore eventually they will actually ask you to provide UTR numbers. So if you just want to do it as a side hustle, then I would pick eBay. Amazon is the kind of side, I mean, don't get me wrong, like eBay, you can do crazy on Amazon, eBay too, but you could potentially get away with selling your own stuff for a long time on eBay. With Amazon, they will query you and ask you and say, can you provide a UTR number to make sure that you're paying tax? So there's something to keep in mind when starting with Amazon for us. It's got its ups, it's got its down. It is amazing with Amazon how you can scan a brand new item and thinking, well, I've picked it up for 20 quid, I can sell it for 40. But yeah, it's all making sure that you're not just like taking money out of the company every now and then. Oh, I've just gone out for a meal, I'll just take some money out, take some, and so on and so on. So it's really important to be disciplined and actually thinking the more you leave the money there, the better it will actually grow for the business for us. I'm just looking, I'm hoping, I just recorded about 8 minutes of this and I'm just seeing the other microphone that's not plugged in. Anyways, so hopefully it's picked up quite nicely from the on-cameras microphone really for us. Just having a look, let's have a quick look, see what's my Instagram DMs look like. Okay, it's because I've got plenty of requests from people actually message me on Instagram. It's just so many, so I apologise if I've not got back to you, or if it is just a simple question like a silly question which you can actually Google. I'm not Google, so that's why you've not been responded yet. So I apologise for that. Yeah, so, or if your first message is a voice note to me, I don't know you. Why would I reply to a voice note? So just to keep that in mind when you're doing that. Let's think of anything else really that pops up. We did a quite a good Q&A yesterday within the level 60 server, so that went really, really well for us, with some really nice questions, and we're able to actually discuss it and talk about it. Let's have a look. Good question. I think one of the big questions was, is VAT bad? And a lot of people think VAT is the boogeyman, but as long as you keep buying stuff, you really shouldn't be paying that much VAT. So the business model, obviously, if you got a service and you're just providing a service, then obviously you're just paying VAT constantly. But what is my set? Mine is on Amazon is a buy. So if I buy a lot more than not what I sell, even, because that'll make, so it wouldn't make sense. But because I'm buying, all the time, I'm claiming that 20% VAT. Yeah, so therefore, very rarely got to pay. I've paid first time Amazon, first time VAT 2.5 back. Next time was 50, and this time was 250. I had to pay for it. It's simply because I'm buying over and over again, so therefore I'm able to claim the VAT. So really important that you're really good with your bookkeeping. And if anyone is interested in decent bookkeeping with e-commerce specialist accountants, you've got awesome. Obviously, I keep talking about them, but they've been the main reason I've been able to actually scale the business, because I don't have to think about taxes or VAT. When I got to that VAT, I didn't put myself off another year from getting to that 85k above to get a VAT. I just knew somebody will deal with it, so hence as to why I thought, straight away, let's jump into it, Nick. And that's what I've been using. I've been using for 2 years now, so super pleased. But yeah, guys, I'm going to have a bit of a section really for people. If anyone is interested to asking questions, I am very much thinking, like, obviously, I'm not on Facebook, I'll be honest. I'm not on Facebook. And so I'm not going to make a Facebook page, if that makes sense. I'm on Discord pretty much 24/7, so I will make a Discord. And I think what I'll do is I'll make a Discord with where I can actually put my early releases, and potentially actually do like 1 or 2 Q&As each month, and it shouldn't have a higher price. I'm just going to figure out the price for that, really. I don't want to say one and then I put a different price. It shouldn't be a higher price, like under 10 quid, I would say, for that one. And yeah, just you can see your early RA videos, early releases for videos, because I'm getting a bit more organized, and plus having access to the Q&As we can actually do inside the server. But yeah, I mean, hopefully that's been interested for you. It's just a nice little monologue for you on when is this out? Probably Monday. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.